All right, it's Monday morning, guys. Welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. My name's Tom. I'm a full-time eBay reseller, and I'm a stay-at-home dad for my 6 children. And there's the top of Ruby's head. And it's Monday, which means in Peoria, there are literally 2 thrift stores that are open. They're both Goodwill. Helping Hands is closed on Mondays. Restore's closed on Mondays. The Church Mouse is closed on Mondays. There's really only 2 stores to go to, so I think we're going to hit them both. Let's go try to make some money. If I'm going to make my goal of hitting 2,000 items in my store, I'm going to have to source a lot of merchandise. See, in the last 90 days, I've sold 617 items, which is just a little short of 7 items a day. So if I'm selling 7 items a day and I want to add 800 items to my store, I have to also calculate for that to get there. So I'm going to continue losing 7 items a day, hopefully more, as I try to push forward. So I need to be listing 10, 12, 15 items a day in order to get to a place where I'm adding to the size of my store. If I was only listing 7 items a day, my store would kind of stay flat. But since I've told you guys and I've set my mind on my goal being 2,000 items that are good quality listings, then I need to get out and get every day more than 10 probably items if I'm going to make it to 2,000 items. Because I think at 2,000 items, if I'm selling 1% of my store a day, that's 20 items a day, which even if I'm only making $5, $6, $8, let's say 5, that's 5 times 20, that's not enough. So if I'm making $10, that's $200 a day. Profit, I could live with that. Be $1,400 a week profit. It's possible, it's doable, but I got to get my store, I got to meet my goals. I got to set goals that are meaningful and take action to meet those goals. And that's what we're doing today. We're getting out, we're going to buy, I got to come home with at least 12 things, and on Monday I'm only going to have 2 stores to shop at. And there'll be days where I come home with 24 items, and maybe I'll be able to skip a day of sourcing and focus on something else. But unless I'm listing more than I'm selling, then my store isn't going to grow. So let's get in here. Let's find good stuff. I've always said late Monday morning is a good time to source at this local Goodwill, because they get the weekend donations and they process them in the morning and then they get them out on carts. So hopefully there's a handful of good carts with a handful of good stuff, and we can spend a handful of money and make a lap full of money. Let me know what you guys think. I am going to try to spend a little less time in these thrift stores as a whole. Sometimes I'll go in and spend 90 minutes and come out with 8 or 10 items, which isn't a really good use of my time. But then also I feel like most of the time when you spend a lot of time, you see more stuff, more carts come out, you're able to find and dig for things that other people might have missed. Where do you guys fall on the how long you should be sourcing in one store? I know a lot of people will just go in, look at the surface level, everything, and get out real quick. I feel like that's folly, that's foolhardy, but also I do feel like I am too far the other way. Wow, it is not busy in here today. I spend too much time hoping to find the next good thing. So it's 11:11 right now. $10, that's a heck of a banjo case. But not only does it not have the key, somebody broke the lock, so like it doesn't have the catch. But man, $10. I've got a couple of banjos. I don't need the case, but maybe if I'm not even probably gonna end up keeping my banjos, so maybe I could add value with that. If it had the lock, I'd probably buy it to try to flip it, but it doesn't, so I'm not going to. And this is the hard goods, man. Just not a lot. I probably ought to look into that swing, but a lot of times there's a lot of good hard goods here. Today there is not. So there's 4 new carts out here, but they're like really junk, like new Mickey Mouse plushies. These are Ruby-sized diapers. Maybe we'll make sure they're not a great deal. There's really not a lot worth selling. This thing used to be good. I'll have to check it. So at $2.49, this is a module space, like a attachment spaceship to a spacecraft that is like this level of big. The Imaginext Supernova. And sometimes they used to do really, really well. I haven't seen one in a long while, so we'll just have to see how they do now. Okay, so a couple of things. These are for my wife and my niece. And then this thing you guys saw, this is $30. I think I'm probably not going to get that unless I go plug it in and test it for a little bit. And then this, I haven't comped yet, but it's $4. And then we just walked up on the hats, and this is a new with tag, new old stock hat, East Peoria tool room, but for $2. See, on a D6 dozer, I know a lot of people who have worked on the D6 dozer, but that's probably nothing. And there's another cat hat down at the bottom that looks pretty good. Cat Racing, $1.99. So Yankee Candle Midnight Jasmine for $4. And it's a 22-ounce candle, and it is unburnt. So that's a definite get. These shoes just seem like quality, and they just come out on a new cart, so I was going to comp them. I'm not familiar with this Joseph Bood. So the Supernova thing has fallen way off. I feel like this is a good maybe. It's probably $20 free shipping. It's going to cost $10 to ship, but still, I mean, it's $3 into 6 or 8 in your pocket at the end of the day. And I don't know if that's necessarily something I want to deal with. Caterpillar hat, new with the tags and off-colored threading. I'm just going to buy this. I'm not even going to comp it. This thing, I think I'm going to skip because at $30, like if it works perfectly, it would be a get at, and sell it for like 70 plus shipping, but at 30, kind of just of the opinion I can probably get 4 things for $30 and do better on those 4 things. Not shocking, this is like $10 plus shipping, so not worth picking up. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't some rare weird thing because it's Sony and it's vintage and it's a cassette player. So I'm by no means surprised that it's only $10, but also I wouldn't have been surprised if it was 40. Yeah. So we're only getting 2 things so far. So I'm right up by the register, about ready to head to the register, and I see this for $10. It's a men's medium. Vintage. Well, that's an odd looking tag. I don't think it's fake, but I don't think it's as vintage as I was hoping either. Yeah, it's not. So for those of you that are interested, inside this Levi's jacket, and any jeans would have this too, CW is the cut week. So this is the 38th week of 2016. That's when this was cut. So it's not vintage. It's almost 10 years old, but it's probably, I mean, $10. Do I pick it up to sell it for 25 plus shipping? So we were in there for an hour and 3 minutes, which means that it took me 21 minutes per item to source this store. If I'm going to grow and move forward, I have to be more efficient than that. All right, and so we are at what I've been calling the less good Goodwill, but that Goodwill was not great, so maybe this one will come in. Dude, this place is a madhouse, and there's no shopping carts, which is always a problem here, but it's worse right this minute because there's not even any like things to like shopping baskets. But there's new carts over there, and there's a new cart of stuff here. I just got to do it one-handed and film. Not gonna happen. So nothing in the clothes, but we did find this for $3.99. It is, I guess I don't see the model number. We're buying it for $3.99. So we also found this natty DKW Duo for $3.99. It's a wireless microphone receiver. I suspect it's probably pretty good. So they have no shopping carts here, which is kind of par for the course, and it sucks. But look at this. I just found this, and all 10 pieces are in there. You can count them from the outside, and so that's $20. And then this, I know what Evelyn paid for hers at Disney Parks. I suspect it's worth quite a bit. So this is what I'm doing for a shopping cart. I'm just keeping stuff in this tote while I look around and find other stuff. Score of the day, we got a freaking shopping cart. No lie, had somebody jump in front of me in the line to ask the person for their shopping cart when people are leaving. But we are scoring some stuff, and now I got hands to show you. We saw this, and we saw this, and this is $4, but I still think that it's really good. It's 40% wool, so it's a really nice hat. This vintage sweatshirt I thought was very cool. It's a women's small. It's $6. This shirt is like double collar, very cool vintage look. Starwear, $4, single stitch, really cool. This is the find of the day. This is $5, and it is Sanrio, and it's probably $60 or $80. And then this is the hi-hat for a pedal for an electronic drum set. Yeah, hi-hat pedal, it says it right there. So now I can do a little bit of video of the stuff I haven't looked at yet. Not really seeing a ton. Are these Cracker Barrel? No, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Mud. Man, they look vintage. So now it's 1:15, and we got a few more pieces at this store, but it took an hour too. I think the Sanrio Build-A-Bear thing is gonna save the day. Probably be some profit in the other stuff, but this, if you get familiar with Sanrio characters, this is Froggy, I think, but like Hello Kitty. This is from 2010. Anything that's Hello Kitty, which is also Sanrio, from Sanrio, Hello Kitty, and Build-A-Bear, some of those Hello Kitties can be $200 and $300. It's ridiculous. So you should be familiar with those, and the other characters, because I'm sure I knew what Froggy was when I saw him, but I'm not sure I would know everybody else. Anyhow, that's it for today. I got other things to do, and I didn't want to spend 2 hours doing 2 stores, but we made some money. Hey guys, it is Wednesday at about 11 o'clock in the morning. Big brother did not have school today, so he is hanging out with Ruby, and she's napping, so he's hanging out by himself while the baby sleeps. I'm gonna hit a couple thrift stores real quick and see if I can't make some money and do it quicker without the baby. Back at the Helping Hand store, it is crazy busy in here today. So we'll see if we can find something worth selling. I like those Mario shorts. So they're kind of better men's clothes. I see somebody did pick up those Aeropostos that I left. T-shirts. Nothing really. Maybe these if they're not too badly marked up, like this thing. So hoodies. All goes in a $10 bag. This is pretty nice. This Thermofit, Illinois. Jeans. There's only a handful of pairs of actual denim jeans, and several of them are George. Old Mill, not better. Gander Mountain and USA. Man, the radio in here is so stinking loud, it's crazy. was just about to leave and say I didn't find anything interesting, but I did find one thing. Tampa Bay Vipers XFL. That's not a hat you're going to see just everywhere. I don't see anything else interesting in the hats, but I'm going to comp that one because it might be good. Nothing there. Should I try Mission Mart? It's right here. Maybe we'll try Mission Mart. Maybe I'll put on my seatbelt before I back out of this space. I drive by here. This is the Mission Mart thrift store. And I drive by here and I never stop because it's been so long since I bought anything at any of the Mission Mart stores that I can't even remember when that was. We'll see if we can make a dent. Maybe they've changed. Maybe it'll be fun to see how crazy it is. Blue tags Monday through Thursday. Jerseys and sports hoodies $10. Red tag clothing, pants, dresses $10. $10. Baby Jordans, that would be $3 to $5 most anywhere. I don't have a price on them. Thurgoods, $20. Shoes, $5. Sandals, boots, slippers. So like, if their shoes aren't over there on the markup rack, then maybe you could find some shoes worth buying. I like this. Pine Street doesn't really do anything for me. And actually the ones that I bought that were actually 3D knit, like Coogie style, haven't sold. So be hesitant to spend much money on that. Sweaters, shirts are $3.49, sweaters are $3.39. So if you find stuff they're not pulling out, then those are reasonable prices. Last time I was here, it's been a long time, but last time I was here, they had a limit on how many books you were allowed to buy. Curious if that is something that stood. Pants are $5 a piece, which is a reasonable price. So again, if you find something that's worth buying. Tommy Hilfiger hats. This is interesting. It looks like probably an older Drew Pearson. Chicago Sun-Times. Bulls giveaway. Snapback. It's not terrible. I don't know what the price on hats are. Beanie bag babies. Stuff these between $1 and $3. I'm sure it's based on size. Anytime I've ever bought a plushie from here, it was a big one that was $3.99, but I'm sure the smallest ones are cheaper. CDs are $1.49. $2.99. What are these? These are movies. This kind of really heavy, thick, like diner coffee mug can be really good if you find the right ones. So this is what's infuriating about this place. I know what they have, but they don't, and they put it on the floor anyway. I'm gonna say this is probably a like FF Scott. It's really nice. But I think it's far enough bad. It'd be hard to flip unless they were selling it super cheap. So the pricing wasn't outlandish, stupid like I expected it to be, but there was nothing, even hardly anything worth. Literally, I didn't find anything that I needed to even comp. So like, Well, so, I mean, you know, when you have hit or miss days, maybe there's better days than others here, or maybe they're cherry picking and keeping the good stuff for the people who work here. I don't know. I did give it a shot, and the pricing wasn't disgusting the way it used to be, but also there was nothing to see. Let's check out the not so good Goodwill that's been good to me recently. Not so good Goodwill, not too busy today. Still no shopping carts. Oh wait, there's one. So maybe there'll be good stuff coming out and we can get some of it. New carts all in a row. So we ended up with a bunch of books. I'm gonna comp them and just see what the series is go for. These plates are really interesting. I just brought out a brass spittoon and a thing from Caddyshack. And I'm gonna look at those books and see what else we can see on here. So this thing's interesting. I don't think I'm gonna probably pick it up for $4, but I picked it up, so I put it in the cart. And then these Game of Thrones for $1 a piece are almost definitely a get. Oh man, we have so many books, but the toys seem a little cleaned out. That looks cool, whatever it is. It kind of looks like a knockoff Star Wars thing. Oh my goodness, look at this mask. Any more Hello Kitty Build-A-Bear plushies? That would be good. Not today. Don't see anything great. Sometimes these can do well, but I think at $7, probably gonna leave the hot rollers behind. I buy them when I find them like in the box and in virtually new condition. Altec Lansing can be really good. So I'm a little torn on these. They have all the evidence of being new, unworn. That does come off. I scratched at it a little bit. I did the bend test and they didn't fall apart. I can't find a date, and this number doesn't come up with anything. So I'm leaning towards leaving them, but man, if they're new with tag vintage Nikes, they could be immensely valuable. They could also be crap. They don't look, I mean, it's not like they're Jordans. They're not some fancy pants thing that I would even consider picking up if they were not new. So they're probably long tail, even if they are worth getting. I was thinking about grabbing this Uniball, but $50. It's just, I'm not even gonna check it and see if it works. This is $8, and it might do a little better. Okay, so I just found this for $5. All these Craftsman Double V, made in the U.S. On the rack. This Pressman being the charade game. I don't know about that. This is worth buying even if it's to keep. And then this Craftsman toolbox is good. And here she comes with another box of, who knows, $8. I would be shocked if this is worth getting. Obviously not totally shocked to put it in the cart. What's that cord tool? The foot thing. Ooh. I like that, even if it is a new reproduction. Not for $10, but it's pretty cool. All right, so I've been on the phone with lots of stuff, some resolution on the life-changing things that have been going on this year. So good stuff. But now we are at the other Goodwill, and I only have a couple of minutes. But look at this thing, $30. There's no chance I would have passed that up a couple of years ago with this big chunk out of it. And I probably do have a place to store it, but I don't want to store it and wait for somebody to come buy it off Facebook Marketplace. So let's see if we can be in and out of here quick and make some money. So I have never heard of this brand of pants, but they seem to comp really well, and at $8 I think off. And making relationships with the people that work here. Somebody's just like, hey, we've got some stuff to bring out of the back that you'd probably be interested in. It's DVDs. Why don't you go stand over there a minute and I'll bring them out. And how about a whole nother mess of R.L. Stine Goosebumps books for 50 cents a piece. I don't know anything about this Horse Diaries, but it's 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11. Objectively the worst PlayStation game, but it's sealed, probably worth picking up for $2. This I haven't comped yet, but I am going to run comps on. These, I don't know. I'm going to probably get a hold of my buddy Alex and see. So it's 20 at 99 cents a piece. I almost didn't even come in here. So now I'm glad that I did. I got 20, got like $35, $40 worth of stuff. And we're just barely started. So here's some, what's on the new cart, $15 for some Laredo boots. I don't think they're small. They're not in super great shape. These used to be something, but I don't know about like that small and all black. On this new cart, a lot of shoes. And another new cart, but nothing too exciting on it either. Caterpillar hat. That's a juicer, but it's not the good one. Oh, is that another SH800 rice cookers? Do really well, even used in the box. Like this one is in nice condition in the box. It's $7, probably 35 or so. How about a trampoline? Probably don't need a trampoline. Nothing exciting. Ooh, Bop It. But this is not a good Bop It. You want to Bop It with more parts than this. And you probably want it to come on when you get in the store. Because they're not worth messing with if you gotta mess with them. I like the hard good stuff that I normally find isn't here. Is that a Sony Handycam? It says starter kit, so surely it's not. The Handycam's not in there. It feels kind of like an empty box. Unused tape and like a weird head cleaner thing, and that's all. How much are they asking for that? Not that it's not worth buying, but $7. It's the wrong tape. So that's a pretty good day. I got a huge mess of books and a huge mess of DVDs and a Black & Decker rice cooker, which I always do super well with those Black & Decker rice cookers. So if you're not looking at small appliances, that'll sell really fast for $25 plus shipping. It'll sell slow for $35 plus shipping. If it's new open box, I sold really fast for $70 free shipping. I'm gonna go through all of the wrestling DVDs and see if there's some rare craziness, and if there's not, I'll probably just lot them all up for $100. Yeah, so pretty good day. I'm definitely going to be able to get enough listings to replace what I've sold in the last 2 days where I didn't have anything to list. So that's going to grow my store. That's my thought right now, is I really need to be coming home with enough stuff to replace everything I've sold since the last time I listed a bunch of stuff. So anyway, we're working, we're buying things, getting things done. I spent right at $100 today. I spent $60 at the first place and $40 at the second. So it was right at $100. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks for following and clicking the bell. We'll see you on the next one.